So I decided to bring Street Fighter 6 to the table. I've been playing it. I was already playing it anyways. When this game was first shown, I was excited for the World Tour mode. This is something I've always complained about with Street Fighter games is like their lack of content. And for years, they like got away with it. Anytime they put a game out, they'd be like, "Oh, what mode you put in it? Oh, we got arcade, and that's about it." So when they showed off the World Tour mode, you can make your character and you go on this adventure. I was a lot more excited for it. I did beat World Tour mode. It took me like 25 hours, I think, and there's still a bunch of stuff you can do. There's still other characters you can run into. Um, it has arcade mode. There's a special match, which I don't really care for. You just like fight and then stuff will like fall down or like something in the background will injure you. So I didn't care for that mode. World Tour is mostly why I was excited for this game. The story in World Tour isn't all that good. It feels a lot like Yakuza or something like that, where you just kind of run around and do what you want. You do a bunch of side stuff, a bunch of goofy little like cooking mini games and things like that. Arcade, you already pretty much know what arcade is. They didn't in Street Fighter 5. They actually had like a story mode. In this one, arcade is basically the usual. You get a cutscene at the beginning and then a cutscene at the end. Usually, they don't actually have anything to do with what's actually going on in the fighting. But um, I like some of the new characters in the game. At first, I didn't care. Like looks wise, I don't really care for anybody. They don't really stand out to me. They do seem kind of odd in this roster with the old characters because I feel like half the roster is probably new, and then like the other half are like from like Street Fighter 2. But there's a couple characters I do like playing as, like Jamie and JB, and Marissa. She's really cool. Um, but yeah, it's a good year for fighting games. You got Tekken coming out, and then you have Mortal Kombat coming out. And so far, Street Fighter 6 was really good. I played a little bit online. The online mode's kind of cool. There's a lobby you can run around in, and they have like arcade machines set up, so you can just kind of like just sit down in front of an arcade and like pick who you want, and you can train while somebody just they can walk up and see who you're playing as or whatever, and see if they want to fight you. And they also have like some other arcade machines that you can run around and play like Final Fight and stuff like that in the lobby. Um, One of the things that a lot of people are talking about are the modern control settings they added to the game. I feel like it kind of turns it into like maybe like a smash because you hit one button in a direction to do a move instead of doing the direction inputs. Um, I know that's like a lot of talk about people complaining. I tried it because when you first start World Tour, you automatically do the modern settings. I think for like the first chapter before you can change them. And I don't really care for it. I'm just so used to playing with classic controls, so I turn it off. But I will say, when I played online, just about everybody I played against was using modern controls. Um, but overall, I think Street Fighter 6 is really good. The story in the World Tour isn't all that good. It's kind of bland. You run up. So it's one of the issues I had is in World Tour you run in, you start up, and your rival is Bosch. You find out that he has like this secret, and he's like running away. And so your whole thing is it's Naruto and Sasuke pretty much. You're like chasing after him, trying to figure out, hey, what's going on with this guy that I just met that all of a sudden I'm buddies with. And the ending was all right, but like just the main story is very predictable where it's going. But one of the issues I have with the game is, especially if you're into fighting games, when you want to have like the alternative costumes and stuff for people and the colors. But in this game, in order to get the moves for your character, you have to You have to become a disciple for the person that you want, and then you use their fighting moves and their style to build your meter up, your relationship with them, to get more moves from them. But the issue is that if you want their alternative costumes, you have to get their like your relationship level with them all the way up to 100. After 25 hours, I only had one person that I got up to 25, that I got all the way up and was able to get one alternative costume. So you have to do that with each person in the game to unlock their costume and the colors. So I don't like that. Mortal Kombat kind of does the same kind of thing with their crypt, how it'll take you the rest of your life to try to unlock everything in there. So that's one issue I definitely see with the game, because I like having like all the costumes in the game. So, and I don't want to sit there and like spend like 150 hours trying to unlock the costumes for everybody.
Don't you miss the good old days when you could just buy it on DLC?
They're right. Yeah, the good old days. I like back when, just like back in the old days where you like, hey, if you want to unlock this thing, you just go through arcade or whatever with a certain character and you get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, just like Mortal Kombat does, I feel like they're slowly trying to push you into spending a little more money, because you can buy extra currency in the game.
Gotcha.
And I didn't do the conversion, so I'm not 100% sure how much it would cost to actually buy the costumes, but I'm pretty sure it's probably over $100.
Jeez.
Any conversions here? We need.
Yeah, we like to
immaculate
give
math.
we like to give the mappers exact data, so no fake news. So if you could get us that
No fake
conversion,
news.
you could just put it as a comment later on when this
I'll
comes
be like,
out.
this is how much it takes. And then I'll be like,
Just-
compared to, this is how many hours you would have to put in, or you can just spend this money.
Getting all the costumes for Ryu. Way too
Trying
much.
to get the purple color.
I am, speaking of the currency though, I am curious because I did play a shit ton of 5, which is also why maybe I'm not buying 6 yet, because I've had my fill for a bit on a Street Fighter. But did they carry over the unlock system from 5, where you could earn, because in 5 you could earn like the currency to like get DLC characters for free, basically? Like, did they carry any of that stuff over?
No. As far as I know of, everybody's just automatically unlocked. The currency that you use is just buying like pictures, colors, the costumes, like music, things like that would go in the gallery or whatever.
That's actually a little disappointing, because that was one of my favorite parts about 5, is that you could actually, I didn't pay for any DLC. You could actually just play online and stuff and like earn the coins or whatever it was called, and then get the DLC characters for free using the in-game currency, which was very cool.
I mean, they may do that when the DLC characters start coming out. They might put them in the shop there and you can use, because you get money from just playing the game. It's just you don't get a lot of money.
We don't know. We don't know yet then.
Yeah, we don't
if they're
know
going to
yet.
keep that system, because that was really cool. I was like, I haven't seen any other, at least like console game, do that, where you can just get the DLC stuff for just playing. Like, you don't have to buy it.
Yeah.
That's how League of Legends has operated its entirety.
Well, I said console. It's not a console. It's a PC.
PC game.
Question though.
Master Race. Yeah, but that's like my biggest complaint, because I enjoy having like the colors and costumes. Like if somebody comes over and they want to play, I like to have all the costumes. And it's like, I was looking through it and I was like, man, I just beat the World Tour, and it's like, it was like 25 hours. It's like, and the whole time I was working on Marissa's fighting style, because I wanted to get one of her moves. So I had her, and then I was like, oh, so I have to do this to unlock the costumes. It's like, I might as well finish her. But I was like, man, that's a lot of work you got to put in to get all the costumes.
Do you think the World Tour adds like worthwhile content though? Because I know that was with 5. Whenever 5 came out, it was lacking content.
I always like when I'm pretty sure I buy like anime games and stuff like that, because when I like something, I like to be able to live in the world. I liked when Mortal Kombat did it with their conquest mode. I like where they drop you in the world. They're like, hey, here's a story. You can run around. When you're running around, you meet other people that are in the game. You run into, people that aren't in the game, like Dan. I ran into him. He has like a pizza restaurant in the game. So I mean, there's all kinds of little like Easter eggs and stuff like that. I like World Tour. It was definitely what I looked forward to playing. But I like when fighting games give you more content aside from just online. I know a lot of the times they focus on making the online good, but I like when they give me single player stuff to do. And Street Fighter for the older games, most of the older games they kind of lacked in that. Soul Calibur would come out and give you a bunch of stuff. Tekken would give you a bunch of stuff. So I'm glad that finally Street Fighter is also giving you more stuff to do.
You said that there was a create a character for the World Tour, I think.
Yeah.
Can you my biggest problem with some of the characters like Chun-Li is that she's really hot but she had too much clothes. Can you strip them down to where they're it's a female but similar body, maybe enhance certain things?
You want to see Chun-Li naked?
Ideally, yeah. Can you make that character?
Rule 34.
Don't make me
You can
go.
put them in their underwear. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then if it's already there, I don't need to Rule 34 it. I'll just play the game.
Well, you can't put Chun-Li in her underwear, but you can make a lady that looks like her in her underwear.
And then name her Chun-Li? Because I can only get off that way.
Do that.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as the name's there. Another issue with the created character thing is that I was hoping that you would be able to make multiple characters and just use them as you want. But you don't actually get a fight with them unless you go to the lobbies online. They have an area where you just fight avatar battles. So it's not, you don't actually, and it's not like, 3 rounds like an actual, like a regular Street Fighter fight. It's, you just kind of fight as you're standing there with whatever you have. So I tried it a couple times, but I was only level 30 something when I was doing it. And everybody I fought was 60, 80 level. So they had 2 more health bars than I had and stuff like that.
Mm.
So I was hoping that you'd be able to actually just make characters and put whatever moves you want on it and just kind of use them however you want.
It's weird they wouldn't try to homogenize it.
Well, that's right for balancing, right?
Yeah. Which, the avatar battles is very unbalanced. It's just whatever you have on your character, whatever level you are, just go.
I greatly appreciate the fact that they're doing the single player stuff, but it's also still Street Fighter and still a Japanese fighting game, so that esports market is still there.
Yeah.
So I see why.
Well, they could just be like, hey, you can't use creative characters.
Oh, go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like the thing that you were looking forward to most was the World Tour.
Yeah.
Then do you feel so? But it also sounds like that's not the highlight of the experience.
No, the gameplay is probably the best it's been. The game looks beautiful. I like the drive system they added. You can use it to attack. You can use it to dodge. You can use it to block attacks, and you can do the drive hit where it stuns them and then lead that into whatever you want. I like the gameplay. The gameplay is good. It's just World Tour is what I was looking forward to. I think it hit. I had fun doing it, just running around the world. There's 2 big areas in the game that you can actually freely run around. There's Metro City and there's I don't remember the name of the other one. There's another area. I don't think it was a letdown. I think it was an excellent base for something later. They could easily do DLC, when they add more characters, they could do because in World Tour, a lot of the characters you meet are in different locations and you just fly to another location. So they could easily add more locations with the new DLC characters, and then you could do little side missions for them. It wasn't a letdown. I really liked World Tour. That was my favorite thing. It's just there's a couple things that kind of irritated me that I thought would be different that weren't, the creative character stuff.
It almost sounds like with fighting games, you have to just modern fighting games. I guess you have to be okay with some of that infiltrating the experience. But it sounds like it's not game breaking. So.
Oh no. It's more plenty of stuff for you to do if you want to. If not, you can do arcade. You can do other stuff.
You think you'll ever get Or what is your top fighting game recently that you've ever played? Top modern fighting game you've played? I don't know.
I don't know. I pick them all up. I liked King of Fighters, but they didn't have anything like this. Mortal Kombat, the last couple times have done like their cinematic story stuff, which is really good. I kind of wish they would have put that in this as well. I say the last one I was blown away with was probably Mortal Kombat 9.
Okay. Think Street Fighter will ever get it right?
I think they do. Yeah, I mean it's a good game. Street Fighter 6 is really good. I just like having a lot of content.
Yeah,
I think since I beat World Tours, like, all I can do is play online or do arcade. Because I'm definitely not making a new character and going through all that again. That's
It still sounds like a big step forward because they've been so stubborn with the very Japanese idea, ideology of just making like an arcade game basically. So
yeah.
it sounds like they did the right steps here, but it just needs a little bit of work. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
this is
all
more
the older
appealing.
ones didn't.
Well, 5 didn't have it when it came out, but like later 5 they added that like cinematic mode, and I fucking hated that thing. It got to a point where I was just skipping the cutscenes because I just wanted to get it over with.
You just didn't care about the story.
No, I don't think Street Fighter stories ever resonate with me because they're just to me it's just silly nonsense for the most part.
Well, a lot of them are just tournaments. Most fighting games, it's like, how do we do a story?
Shadow
just
Lu's
tournament.
back. Yeah, Shadow Lu's a thing again, and
yeah, they're in the World Tour.
And Bison and some people, yeah. So
in
it
Bison,
sounds like
I'm surprised he wasn't in this game.
Oh, he's not. Wow.
No, Bison's not in it.
Not fighting Bison.
Weird.
Bo Bison.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like I think Street Fighter 6 is probably one of my favorite. I like Street Fighter 4 and I liked Alpha 3. But that's what I was just saying. Like I was worried about content when they announced it, and then when they started showing more stuff, there's plenty of stuff to do in the game. So that's like what I look forward to when it comes to fighting games, is like a lot of stuff to do.
Nice.
That kind of answers my next question, but how serious of a competitor are you?
So sort of serious. I like playing online, but I like playing with friends more.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple friends that we have like fighting game titles, and we used to have a board that we hung up in my game room. And we just like put who the champion was, and we all kind of like vote on what game we're gonna do. So I take it pretty serious. I play most fighting games that come out. I'm just not huge on just playing with random people online.
Okay. Reason I ask is I have a friend of the show, JD. Like he actually goes to Evo and stuff.
I've done a couple like tournaments and stuff like that, but not Evo. I'm not that crazy, I guess.
How do you? So but you generally follow it, like you know what they're talking about and stuff. How do you see this fitting into that landscape? Do you think it has legs?
Yeah, it will be probably one of the number one games they'll be playing this year and the next couple years.
You said something that kind of startled me. I'll ask it anyway, but do you think they'll remove that feature, the new feature of combat versus the old? Like where the
Modern.
inputs?
The
modern, that's what
the modern? I don't know. I have a feeling they will use it. Because there's a lot of people that just kind of be like, you can't play games if you got to use the modern controls. But a lot of like streamers and stuff like that are talking about how modern controls are actually pretty good, because it's still kind of fair, because I believe that there's certain things you can't do when you use the modern controls, like there's combos and stuff that you can't lead into, and I think it like dumbs down the damage you do as well. So they do try to balance the controls, and I've seen a lot of like controversy on the modern controls, but I've seen a lot of positive stuff too about it. I don't care for it. I don't want to have to relearn how I play Street Fighter.
I feel like these games are so exacting though. that there's gonna be a meta that happens where it's like, okay, the right way to play is either with the modern or without, and
Yeah.
one will just disappear. Like, because like for casual players it won't matter, but for the hardcore, like it'll just one of those modes will just be erased just by the fact of meta.
Yeah. And I was surprised. You might be able to, but I didn't see if you can actually set to where you only play online with certain people that are playing with the classic or whatever. I don't think you can select who you fight, so they can use what they want to use. But I definitely see it balancing itself out. Plus, like, in like Evo and stuff, like years ago, people were like, "Oh, you got to use a fight stick," but nowadays you see people using controllers there, and they seem to be doing just fine against people with the fight sticks. So it's like,
JD says that his fight stick got banned.
oh, really?
Yeah. I
Did
don't know
he
if
have
it's
some
all,
kind of like
but
modded on it?
I don't know. He just said that his got banned. His brand got banned. I don't even know if it means all of them or just the one. But
No, you can't use that one. It's got turbo on it.
yeah,
Well, now the big one is like the hitbox is a big controversy now because it's like the keyboard style setup.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
it's the box with just the arrow keys and the button keys, and and that's like the big thing now.
That may have been the
hitboxes.
one he was talking about as a hitbox.
Yeah. That's gotten like in the fighting game community right now. That's a big controversial thing is the hitboxes.
Last question: which character would you pitch the ball mower to?
Hmm.
Can I answer?
Marissa.
Knew
No,
it.
I was gonna say Zangief.
Oh.
And get your chest too.
Chest mower.
We learned something today.
Nice.
What's your character ball hair preferences?
How many balls out of 7?
I would give it 2 balls.
Out of 7.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.